everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I thought I would do a get ready with me, hence the headband. I not that long ago filmed a mini get ready with me for a 5-minute makeup routine. This time I'm going to do a full face of makeup. I'm a bit nervous to do this as I was last time because I'm not overly keen on applying makeup on camera. It was okay last time because I didn't apply a lot, but this time I'll be applying a full face, so I am a little bit nervous and we'll see how it goes. I was kind of going to do it as a chatty get ready with me, but I don't really have a topic in mind as to what to discuss. Obviously you can't speak back to me because it's pre-filmed. I'm just going to go along with whatever pops in my head. I will try and say each item as I'm applying it, but I'm obviously not used to describing my makeup as I apply it, so hopefully I will remember. Starting with primer. And the one I'm using today is the number 7 Airbrush Away primer. I've got a few different primer samples at the moment that I'm working my way through because I don't always remember to put it on, if I'm honest. I only tend to remember if I know it's going to be a long day and I do need my foundation to last. And this is the one that I reach for if I need it to last the longest because it seems to be the best one. So I think when this does run out I will probably go out and purchase this, even though I've still got a few more samples left. I think this is my favourite out of all the ones I've tested. I just tend to use about that much and I feel like that does cover my whole face. Okay, that's the primer done. It's really hard to remember to talk while I'm doing things, so anytime I don't talk I'll probably just fast play it. On to foundation, and the one I've chosen today is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour and I'm in the shade Ivory. I think it's a pretty good match. I do really like this foundation because it doesn't cling to my dry patches, which I do struggle with along my forehead line here. A few foundations do stick to it. I like to apply my foundation with a beauty blender. Well, a sponge anyway. So the one that I'm using today is from Eco Tools. As you can see, it's really clean, not because I've cleaned it, because I haven't used it yet. So this is actually a new one for me to try. What I use on a regular basis is the Real Techniques, the orange one with the slant on it, but I was too embarrassed by how dirty that was, so I haven't used that one today. I'm going to use this one instead. I just apply it straight onto the beauty blender. I'm already making a mess. And just kind of dot it right on my face. I am struggling with a few spots at the moment. I've been really struggling of late with random breakouts. I was at an age where my skin was kind of under control, but I changed my contraceptive pill and went from the, I think I was on the combined pill to the mini pill, and it is just wreaking havoc with my hormones and it is driving me insane. I've been on it now since, I think I might even be coming up to even 6 months on it now, and it's just not settling. They said it'd settle after 3 months, but it's just making things go all over the place. I just don't know where I'm working with things. Basically I was always like clockwork with my periods, but since going on this pill I've been all over the place. Really, even when I had my daughter I went straight back onto the combined pill and they said it might be the same way as it was, but because I started on the same day of the week that I'd always started my pill packets on, I went back to being like clockwork again. And I've now ended up on this mini pill, and not by choice. I went to the doctors to get a new prescription and they said to me, have you suffered from migraines? And I said, oh, I had a really bad headache about 6 months ago. I don't think it was a migraine. It didn't like shut me into a dark room or anything like that. It was just a really bad headache. So she's like, oh well, you can get migraines on this combined pill. We don't really like people being on it over the age of 35. I'm 31, so I was like, okay, well I'm not 35 yet, so I should still be okay on it. Just going to go on to concealer to try and put a bit on these spots. I'm just using the CHATTY Flawless Light Reflecting. I'm really on the last bit of this now, I hope I've got enough. So when I said to the doctor about not having had migraines, she gave me a year's worth of pill and off I went. I then started taking the pill, and about maybe only a few days later I got a phone call from the doctor saying that the doctor wanted to speak to me to discuss my migraines. I was very confused and said to the receptionist, "Oh, sorry, you must have me mixed up with someone else. I've not had migraines." So she just went, "Oh, okay." Then put the phone down. Then got another phone call. No, doctor definitely wants to speak to you about your migraines. Okay. Spoke to the doctor. When this was happening, we were in the process of moving house, and when we moved house in the summer, we were stupid the way we did it. We moved in on a Monday and then went on holiday on the Friday, I think it was. And it was just such a mad time, and this was literally a week before, but obviously I had to go to the doctors. I was running out of my pill. I had no choice. These spots just really don't want to be covered up. I don't actually know. It does say it's full coverage, but I don't ever seem to get full coverage out of it. Maybe I'm not putting enough on, but I don't like a lot of makeup on my face. I don't like to feel like I'm wearing foundation, so I do tend to just put one layer over it. And to be honest, even though you can still see those blemishes, I am going to leave it this way. It is really hard to try and tell a story while also applying makeup, talking through your makeup, etc. This is going great. The next thing I'm going to do is apply some bronzer. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess, and I'm using an e.l.f. Total Face brush. This is just one of their cheaper lined ones. It's not the best, but it does the job kind of thing. It's just not as soft as I'd like, to be honest. So where was I? Yeah, so the doctor asked to speak to me, sort of entertain the fact, and she just said, "Oh, just need to talk to you further about your migraines. I've prescribed you this pill, but you need to come off it." So I said, "Oh, I haven't had migraines." I said I had a headache, which I thought was a bad headache, but when I described the symptoms to the doctor, she said, "Oh yeah, that just sounds like a bad headache kind of thing." Onto blush, and this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Ornate, and I'm using the Spectrum A01 brush. It's quite bright, this one, so I have to blend it out quite a bit. So when I was talking to the doctor and said, "I'm really happy on this pill. I've been on this pill since I was 18. I've never had a problem with it. I came off to have my daughter. I've gone straight back on. Never had any issues. Why would you want to change it?" So she just kind of didn't have the best bedside manner with me and was like, "Well, do you want a stroke?" Which I was under that much pressure at the time. I just remember bursting out crying on the phone, being like, how can you say that to someone? Of course I don't want a stroke, but, and I just kind of said to her, "Look, I'm in the middle of moving house, then I'm going on holiday. I don't want to be changing my pill in amongst all that. Can I come back to you in a couple of weeks?" In my eyes, a normal doctor should say, "Okay, as long as you come back to me in a couple of weeks, that's fine." And her response was, "Right, well, I'm going to have to put a note on your medical records. You're going against medical advice. If you don't come back to us, you're not going to be able to get prescribed your pill. Are you looking to have another child?" Which again was a bit out there kind of thing. So I said, "Well, I don't know, but I'm not making that decision on the spot right now." And she said, "It was just, if you're hesitant to change pill, there are other options for contraception." And then she basically mentioned sterilisation, and I was just like, is this a normal conversation people have with doctors? I've never known it in my life, and this is a new doctor in our practice, and I've been back since for other things, and I just refuse to see her now. So long story short, she made me change my pill. I've been unhappy on it ever since. I've also been unhappy with that doctor, but I just, at the time, I just couldn't believe it. Because of moving house, I just kind of said, oh whatever, just change it, I'll come in and get my new pill. But I just haven't been the same on it since. I've been more moody, I've had more spots, I've just been, as I say, generally all over the place. I think I've been more forgetful because of it. I like to blame that anyway. I am thinking about going back soon, but I just, now that they've put me onto this, and because of that 35 thing, I know I'm only 31, but I just don't think they'll put me back on it, especially because if I go to, because we have different doctors within our surgery that you can go to, you don't have a set doctor. And I just think because the first doctor has done this, I don't think they'd go against it. And even though they would be seeking a second opinion, I think to do that I'd have to change surgeries, which is just another mess that I can't be bothered doing right now. So I'm in a bit of a catch-22. I don't really know what to do. Has anyone else ever had a similar situation like this? I just thought it was crazy. Oh, I haven't done my under eye concealer. So this is the YSL 2 Shade Claret and I'm in the shade number 1. And this is the concealer that I apply under my eyes. I don't wear foundation on a daily basis, but I do wear this every single day without fail because I suffer from dark circles. I think it has probably only been since I had my daughter that I suffer from it more, but I just feel like this helps take the edge off. I also don't set my face, I only set my under eye concealer, and I literally just dab a little bit under with my finger, just because I don't like under my eyes feeling like I have makeup on them. I know I'm putting more on than what's on the rest of my face, but that's just the way I like to do it. This is the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder. I either use this or the small pot of Laura Mercier that I've got. I want to use this one up, but I think I probably will purchase a full size Laura Mercier soon. Then I'm going to fill in my brows, and this is the Benefit Goof Proof Pencil, and I am in the shade 3, I hope, because I've just ordered a new one. Yes, 3. So I just comb them through. I'm quite lucky in that I do have quite a few brow hairs. There's only some sections of it that are sparse, so I don't need to go over the top when filling them in, and I do just kind of glaze over them really. I think they look pretty even, and that's pretty much all I do with my brows. Then I'm going to put on some highlighter. There's my highlighter brush. I'm going completely out of the order that I usually do. For this I'm using a Tarte brush which came part of a 5 set. I don't really like any of the brushes that came with the 5 set, but I do really like this one because it is just the right size. And the highlighter that I'm using is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in Precious Petals. I probably apply that in the complete wrong place. Now on to eyes. This is the bit that I'm most scared of because I know from watching a lot of YouTube tutorials that I do not do it the same way everyone else does, but it's the way I do it, so I'm just going to go with it. I would usually put an eyeshadow primer on, but I completely forgot to bring one over here. So let's just pretend I've put on the Milani eyeshadow primer because that's the one I usually reach for. The eyeshadow palette I'm going for today is the Urban Decay Naked Heat. When it comes to this time of the year, I tend to reach for this one an awful lot. This is the palette that I actually wore on Christmas Day as well. So I'm not too sure what I want to do. I'll probably go quite simple. I will actually use the brush that came in it here. For the first shade I'm going to apply Sourced just in my crease. I don't really like the mirrors that come in shadows like this shape because I think it's too sort of in your face. The mirror that I'm actually using, I've got my Emily Noel palette propped up because I love the size of that mirror. That's probably the only eyeshadow palette mirror that I actually use. And I'm going to take this smaller blending brush. I think I got this one from Superdrug. I think it's just one of their own. It's a really nice blending brush. And I'm going to go in with Low Blow to slightly deepen the crease. I think I'm going to use this mirror now, after saying that as well. Plus I find eyeshadow mirrors get really dirty because of the powder off the shadows. I'd be interested to know as well, again, after watching so many YouTube tutorials, I've yet to really suss out what my eye shape is, because I'd rather look up tutorials that are like for my eye shape. I don't think I have hooded eyes, but maybe I do a little bit because when I have my eyes open there's not a massive amount of lid space on show. I just don't know if I've got hooded eyes, but I find I do have to sometimes go quite high with the shadow to be able to see it, but I don't like to go high with the shadow. I just like to tend to keep it on the lid, but then you only see it when my eyes are shut. So if anyone has any input as to what my eye shape is, I will be glad to know. Right, next I'm going to go into my outer corner. Don't know if to use El Fuego or En Fuego even, or Ashes. I think I'm going to go for En Fuego here. So what do you think of my snazzy headband? This is actually one of my daughter's headbands. It's actually aged 18 to 24 months, but it is absolutely huge. So when I decided to do this video, I kind of stole it from her. I don't think she's ever actually had it on her head other than me trying it on her, and it just didn't hold any hair back and immediately fell out. So I tend to go about halfway across my lid with the dark shade. So my technique is probably completely off. I'm so glad that I've pulled this palette back out, because in a way I'd kind of forgotten about it this year because I've bought so many palettes of late. I'm going to really try and not buy any palettes as much as I can next year, because it is getting a bit ridiculous now, my collection. I'm glad to pull out ones that I haven't reached for a while. With this fluffy brush to try and blend things out a little bit. This is part of a set I just picked up on Amazon. The set, I think it's a set of 15, it's got so many different head shapes that I wanted to see what type of head shapes that I prefer, so I've slowly been replacing it with more expensive, better quality brushes once I've established which shape that I like. I've tried to purchase a few with this shape but haven't yet found one I actually like as much as this one. I've recently placed an order with Spectrum brushes because I do really love their brushes, and one of the brushes I've ordered from that is a blending brush, so that order should be arriving soon. And what I tend to then do is just go over my majority of my lid with a foiled or metallic shade. So I think in this case I'm going to go in with Scorched. This is the way that I've kind of always applied shadow. I don't tend to use much more than 4 shadows. In most cases I don't even tend to use brow highlight. I've just actually tapped my finger, that won't help with it. That's just a step I always forget, like highlighting my brow, and also doing my lower lash line. That's something else that I tend to forget. Not the worst look I've ever done, but definitely not the best. See, now I have a problem because when I'm at my vanity I have a cotton pad ready to wipe my finger on, but I didn't think to bring one over here, so now I'm stuck with eyeshadow on my finger that is likely to go everywhere. Do I wipe it on my pants? Because I've now mentioned lower lash line, I'm going to put something on my lower lash line because I've remembered, and I think I might just go back into that Low Blow, which is the shade that I use to darken my crease. And this brush that I'm using, I'm dropping, I think is Eco Tools. This is probably one of the first little mini brush sets that I bought. It came with 2 different brushes, but to be honest I don't really reach for it. The only one I reach for is this angled one at the end here to do my lower lash line. I think this brush would be quite good for doing like concealer on a cut crease, but generally I don't ever do that. Okay, so I think that is it for that, and I've just realised that I've not brought mascara over with me. So I'm going to put my eyeliner on and then I will go and grab a mascara. How did I forget a mascara? For my eyeliner I'm using my trusty Tarte Man-Eater. I inadvertently did a wing. I never ever do a wing eyeliner. I don't know if I like it. It makes me realise how bad of a blending job I've done with my eyeshadow, so I might have to let the eyeliner dry and then go back in with the eyeshadow. This is not the best job I've ever done. Quite thicker than I normally do as well, because I normally do the whole stretch your eye thing out. I know you're not supposed to, but because I'm holding a mirror instead of standing in front of one, it's not working. I honestly don't know what possessed me to do a wing, because I never do a wing. The thing with wings, you start adding and adding and adding, and then next thing you know they go up here. For mascara, I've grabbed my Essence Lashes of the Day mascara. One of the main reasons is that it was at the front, because it is the one I tend to reach for most days. The final thing to apply is my lips, and I've gone for this lippy lingerie from Tarte. This is the shade Envy, and this is one that I got as part of a set that I picked up on Black Friday. I'm shortly going to be filming my haul update for all the things I purchased during Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so that should be up on my channel in the next week or so. I'm not usually a lip cream person, but I really like these ones. They are really comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel matte at all. It doesn't really dry down because it is more kind of balmy, but it's a really nice shade. They are much longer lasting than I thought they would be as well, which is another plus. So overall quite happy with these, but again I'll go into more detail in my haul update. So that is it for the look that I created. Excuse that I now have slightly headband hair. Overall, I'm quite pleased with it. I don't know if my techniques are completely wrong. I'm sure someone will let me know. I actually still can't believe that I did a wing with my eyeliner. But yeah, this is kind of my go-to. I'd say if I was going for a meal kind of thing. It's not too out there like when I wear my purple or my green eyeshadow. It's more toned down with the warm shades of the Naked Heat, and it's probably similar to something that I wore on Christmas Day, apart from I paired it with a red lip, a dark red lip. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks!